Okay, some things are strange and some things are very strange. And sometimes we do things that look strange if we don't understand why. If other people don't understand why we do things, they look weird. And one of the things I did recently that some people, I'm putting this up here mainly for people who want to either are using LinkedIn and wondering, is it worth it? Or people who were in my network and wondering, how come they're gone? And why do I still have a page with almost no connections, where I had 400 connections at one point, then I had over 100, but still, that's still quite a lot, and then I had 0 and 1. One connection. And who is this one connection? Why am I using LinkedIn at all? People will check it. Who will check it? Banks, accountants, potential employers. They'll look at your LinkedIn profile. And why will they look at your LinkedIn profile? Because they're bored. Maybe looking for a reason to say no. Right? That's why people look at LinkedIn profiles. They don't usually look at it for a reason to say yes, they look at it for a reason to say no. So you could also be potential employees. And sometimes they look for somebody to follow and, have this advice and everything like that. But you can do that on YouTube, you can do that on Facebook, you can do that anywhere else. LinkedIn is more of a no. So how does LinkedIn make its money if it's just people saying no? Well, it makes its money off of job seekers mostly. Whereas I'd say most job boards, now I'm not going to compare most social media. LinkedIn is kind of a social media. It's a cross between social media and job boards. It acts as a job boards. People go onto it because you want a job. So in that way, it's competing with job boards. But people give it money, partly maybe some people because they want a job and some people because they want to hire it, but they want to hire you. But why do you give LinkedIn money? You give LinkedIn money because you don't have a job. And that's how they make money. They don't make money from you getting a job. They make money from you not having one. This is where I don't like LinkedIn. Job Hippo makes money from you applying to jobs and from companies finding a good candidate, which means someone has to get hired for Job Hippo to make money. The same with eJobs Romania, the same with Indeed. Some of them might have some content that's not directly related to finding your job, some little jokes here and there, but that's their business model. Their business model is almost 100% recruiters looking for people to hire. LinkedIn? No. LinkedIn's business model is bankers looking for people to refuse a bank account to. It is narcissists looking to grow their network to massive proportions. It is job seekers looking to improve their employability in the workplace. It is coaches looking to give advice to job seekers or bankers or accountants or recruiters. There's recruiters in there in the mix as well. And there's universities looking to find new students. And there's all the different type of people. There are tobacco companies looking to say that they're actually good people. All the type of people who advertise on Facebook are also on LinkedIn in some form or another. People who are not even hiring are on LinkedIn. And most of the adverts I've seen on LinkedIn in the past 19 and a half years, or 18 and a half years, at least I've looked at my old LinkedIn emails because I've been deleting tens of thousands of emails in the past few days to sort out things because I'm looking for the one email that I can't find. And so what have I discovered in looking at all these emails? Has LinkedIn actually been worth it? I made a couple of virtual friends, people who I kind of consider to be good friends, but I've never seen in the real world. So as far as I know, they could be fake. This was a long time ago, so it was before AI got very good, so they if they were fake, they were probably trolls rather than AI. But yeah, there's a couple of that, but you can make that in a weekend going to a church or something like that. So is it efficient use of time to make friends on LinkedIn? Not really. Go to a weekend course, a writer's retreat, a yoga retreat, a chess tournament, participate in Toastmasters, you name it. You've got thousands of possible alternatives to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is supposedly free, but it's not, because it makes money off of you clicking on ads or putting up ads or, buying the full version. But does the full version, let's see, you're an employer, right? If I'm a real employer, which I've hired people in the past for films and everything. Did I hire anyone through LinkedIn? Nope. Did I make any purchases through LinkedIn? I bought courses, LinkedIn Learning, and some other courses that I thought were useless afterwards. So there were some other social media things that LinkedIn had on there, and there were a lot of things I was thinking of buying, but I didn't find anything worth buying on LinkedIn. Hiring is, again, there's some people I hired for little things, but very micro amounts. And could I recommend those people? Yes, but they didn't have the business. If they had business acumen, they probably wouldn't have been doing their prospecting on LinkedIn. They'd probably be doing networking at events and be doing much bigger business. Same. I went to events which say how to use LinkedIn after using LinkedIn, and the information was pretty useless. But, I'd already been using it for 10 years or whatever before I went to the first one, so I could probably be teaching one of those courses. So the question is it useful for you? My answer is probably not. If LinkedIn goes out of business, nobody except for the people who work there will cry. And it's part of Microsoft anyway, so hopefully they get another job in another division doing something more interesting. Okay, maybe the influencers who have lots of followers, but maybe they'll get real jobs. And, instead of just pretending to have businesses that do all these wonderful things that are amazing and allow all their employees to work from home and work whenever they want and they get paid so well and everything like that, they might actually start real businesses that really hire people and don't just brag about, what they do with their fictional employees. Maybe some of them are real. I mean, there's that one guy who worked for the Daily Mail, which is a very scandalous tabloid, and I don't like the product he works with, but he's got a real business. And there's that guy who does that Virgin thing. You follow him, you like his thing. It doesn't help you get a job, it doesn't help Virgin get more money, but it feeds his ego a little bit to have these extra followers there. And maybe some of these big CEOs who have the real CEOs and the fake ones, they'll get a little ego drop when, they have to see, we just have to see the receipts of whether customers are happy or not the likes of, I'm the best person for my employees in the world. When are they really? Anyone who's actually worked there, you can't really publicly say, no, you're terrible. You can only do that on Glassdoor, because there's no anonymity, and it just kind of you tell these big CEOs how they really are, and it hurts your job. So this is another thing for information gathering. It is terrible because everyone on there is looking for prospects or jobs. So the only person anyone argues against usually is politicians. And even that can hurt your job search sometimes by arguing against politicians. So people, even that, they're a bit sketchy to say what they really think. And so LinkedIn is not useful for anybody really. And if it stopped existing, boo-hoo. Move into another department in Microsoft, get a real job, get a real company. Bye-bye.